Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and look at the results of your investigation. Okay, you went ahead and completed the investigation on page 262. You should have noticed a few things. The first thing, for any polygon, so that means any sided figure, the sum of the measures of a set of exterior angles is what? 360 degrees. So that means if you have a three-sided figure, the sum of your exterior angles is going to be 360. If you have a four-sided figure, the sum of your exterior angles will be 360. If you have a 100-sided figure, the sum of the measures of the exterior angles is 360 degrees. Let's review real quick. What was the sum of the measures of the interior angles? So exterior is 360. Do we remember what the interior angles was?
180. Well, it's
How do we find the interior angles?
is that the polygon's sum?
So what was that?
1
N minus 2
times 180.
times 180. Okay, so the interior angles changes. The exterior angles doesn't. And so last but not least, it says you can find the measure of each interior angle of an equiangular n-gon by using either of these formulas. So the first formula is 180 minus 360 divided by n. So if you know however many sides you have, you take 180 minus 360 divided by that, and that will tell you what each interior angle is. Or you can take 180 times n minus 2 divided by n. And so that second formula is actually what we used on Friday's homework. Remember what you would do, this is the sum of the interior angles right here. And then remember what you did is you divided by the number of sides. So this is a formula right here, this one is a formula that you've already used. Okay, but now what we're doing is we're adding this formula right here. And so an example, if I had a five-sided figure and I wanted to know how much each of the interior angles is, I would take 180 minus 360 divided by 5. What is 360 divided by 5? 360 divided by 5? 72. So each interior angle of a regular pentagon is 108 degrees. So that's how that formula works. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at a problem on your homework. And so if you look at your homework, there you go. And so the question is, find C and find D. Now, I will tell you that sometimes on today's homework, you won't always get whole numbers. Sometimes you're going to get some decimals, and that's okay. And so if you look at this, I need to find what C is. So in order to do that, I'm going to utilize the fact that I have a, how many sided figure here? 7. I have a regular heptagon. So can somebody tell me how I could find C?
7 minus 2. Multiply it by 180.
Okay, with the whole purpose of what? How are we going to find what C is?
Find your linear.
Yeah. To find C, I need to find this measure right here. Once I find this measure, what can you do to find C? Yeah, subtract it from 180. So now, in order to find, I need to find the purple angle. What I need to do is use the formula n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. So 7 minus 2 times 180 divided by 7. And what does that come out to be? Go ahead and give it to me in the nearest hundred, please. 120 Is it 5.7?
Yep.
Okay. Now granted, we're just gonna have to fudge a little bit here. We're not gonna answer in decimals. And so this is 128.57. So now, how can you find what C is? Subtract that from 180. Very good. So I'm gonna take 180 minus 128.57. And what do you get? 51.43 degrees. And that equals C. So now how do I go about finding D? Yeah.
We know that that angle right before there is
Yep.
128.57.
Right.
And the circle is 360. So
Good.
you can take that from 360, then divide your answer by 2.
Right. If you didn't catch what Lauren said, I've got a circle here. And for those of you that aren't seeing the circle, here's your circle. And a circle measures 360 degrees. So if I take that 360 and I subtract from it 128.57, that's going to tell me how many degrees I have left. How many degrees do I have left? 231.43 degrees. Now I have that many degrees to split between this angle here and this angle here, but what do you know? They're the same because they're marked congruent. And so all I need to do is divide that by 2, and that will give me the measure of angle D, which is what? 115.72 degrees equals D. So that's what you're going to have to do today. You're just going to have to kind of break it down. If you need to trace the figure, you can do that as well. But you're just going to have to kind of go through things step by step. Now, what you need to do for me for tomorrow, okay, probably going to be looking at a quiz tomorrow too, is pages 263 through 264, 1 through 10. Now, a little bit about Wednesday. I know some of you are going to be gone. Wednesday, we will actually meet in the room next door. We'll meet in Mr. Twirling's room. And so, we're going to go ahead and have class in there all day. Wednesday.